the other things that we get a lot of questions and calls about are out-of-state drivers and whether they are eligible to use a prayer for judgment continued. And this is a little bit complex, so I want to take a second to just back up and rethink the laws surrounding prayer for judgment and where they come from. As we discussed in our prior video series, a prayer for judgment is a very old resolution, and many other states do not recognize it. So while a driver who's coming through the state of North Carolina, say they are licensed in the state of Maryland, they're coming through on their way down to Florida, they get a ticket for speeding 15 miles an hour over the limit. They could, in fact, go to an attorney and have that attorney seek a prayer for judgment continued on their behalf. And if the judge said that it was okay, a prayer for judgment would be entered in that case. But a problem arises in the way that conviction for a prayer for judgment continued is sent back to that person's home state where they are originally licensed. Once that charge gets back to Maryland and it says PJC on the outside of it, we don't know how Maryland is going to, whether they're going to accept that or whether they're going to see that as we've talked about, a plea of guilty to the underlying violation. There are 50 states out there, and our office is unaware of any other state that accepts the prayer for judgment continued in the exact same way that North Carolina does. And so that means that there is a very good possibility that even though you could get a prayer for judgment continued as an out-of-state driver, that prayer for judgment would not translate back to your home state in a way that would be beneficial. And in some instances, it can translate back to the home state in a way that appears as a guilty verdict on the underlying speeding charge or otherwise traffic charge that could cause a revocation or suspension of your out-of-state driving record. So we do not advise our out-of-state clients to seek or use a prayer for judgment continued in any circumstance unless there is absolutely no other option available for them, because of the fact that we are unaware of any other state that would recognize the PJC in a beneficial manner. So as we've discussed in this video, PJCs are very limited, and because of that, we have to be careful on how we use them.